What if you could look around the cockpit just by using your eyes or your head? No sensors clipped to your headset, no calibration curves, no wires dragging you down. Just you, and a device so subtle it disappears into your entire setup, until it changes the way that you fly. That's the Tobii Eye Tracker 5, and with a special Invictus launch week discount and sweepstakes, now might be the perfect time to upgrade your setup. Now, I've been using TrackIR for almost a decade, and I've tweaked every setting, broken a few track clips, and built muscle memory around its quirks. So when Tobii reached out to sponsor this video, they knew I wasn't going to sugarcoat anything. They gave me full freedom to be honest, and that's exactly what you're getting. This isn't just a feature tour. It's a head-to-head breakdown of what makes Tobii different, where it beats TrackIR, and whether it's finally time to switch. And right now, during Invictus launch week, you can get 15% off the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 with code TET5, and enter to win prizes like Tobii Eye Tracker 5, a MISC Starlancer TAC, or Drake Cutter starter packs. Just head to gaming.tobii.com to enter. And I've also got a direct link down in the description. Now, as I've mentioned, I've flown with TrackIR 5 for nearly 10 years, and from day one, it completely changed how I played flight sims and space games. Being able to look into turns, scan instruments, or track bogies mid-dogfight using head movement, it was a literal game changer. But it's not perfect. The TrackClip Pro still works, which is really impressive, but it's really fragile. One bad snag on a headset arm and you're dealing with bent plastic or worse. Add in the USB cable and now you've got another leash tying you to your rig. I've stood up too fast more than once and yanked the whole thing out, sometimes along with my headset. Then there's the sensor mount. It served me well, but even a light bump to the monitor eventually caused it to droop forward, just enough to lose tracking when it mattered most. TrackIR gives you fine control, but it comes at the cost of setup time. You might spend hours dialing in curves, smoothing, and profiles across different games just to make it feel right. Now, it's been the gold standard for years, and rightfully so. But after all that tweaking and fragile hardware, I was more than ready to see if something newer could match the experience without all the extra baggage. So what is the Tobii Eye Tracker 5? Well, it's a small, low-profile device that mounts magnetically to a bracket under or above your monitor. There's no clip-on sensor, no wires hanging from your headset, and no gear to wear. You plug it in via USB, and it stays out of the way until it's working behind the scenes. What sets it apart from TrackIR is simple. It tracks both your head and eyes. Now, it does this using near-infrared light and twin sensors. Tobii reads your eye reflections in real time, even if you wear glasses. That means it knows exactly where you're looking and how you're moving, and it responds without any physical input. And if that sounds gimmicky, it's not. Your head drives broader movement, looking behind you, checking your six, but your eyes handle precision. Want to glance at a control panel or radar blip? You just look, and Tobii picks it up instantly. That fine-tuning without physical effort is what makes the experience feel natural. Setting it up was refreshingly simple. You download the Tobii Experience software, no driver hunting, no third-party tools. One installer handles it all. Once plugged in, the device is detected automatically. You walk through a quick calibration by looking at a few dots on the screen. It tracks both eyes independently, and once that's done, you're good to go. Mounting is just as easy. The magnetic bracket adheres securely to your monitor with a strong adhesive strip. It's stable. No drooping, no constant adjustments mid-session like TrackIR's sensor often requires. What really impressed me was that I didn't need to touch a single curve or tweak any smoothing settings. It just worked. No adjusting X and Y axis dead zones, and no smoothing profiles. You might have to recenter your view every once in a while if you hop out of the chair, but otherwise, it works naturally. Now, it felt tuned for actual users, not just sim hobbyists willing to spend hours fine-tuning. Compared to TrackIR's setup routine, clip it on, launch the software, tweak curves, pray it holds alignment, Tobii's simplicity is night and day. You install it, calibrate it, and you're ready to fly. The first time I jumped into Star Citizen with Tobii running, it honestly surprised me. I was sitting around the cockpit, looking around the hangar, and without even realizing it, the camera followed my gaze. Not a dramatic head tilt, not a forced lean, just a glance. And it moved, smoothly and naturally. That's honestly where Tobii hits different. It tracks both your head and your eyes. And while it might seem like just a flashy feature at first, in practice, it's anything but. Your head gives you the broad movement like checking your six or leaning into a strafe run. Your eyes handle the fine detail. Want to glance at a control panel, a radar blip, or the edge of your HUD? You just look and it's there. And the way it handled my head tracking was honestly flawless. Now, if you want, you can have it mixed input where it tracks your head and your eyes independently, or you can just have it track your head. And honestly, I prefer just having the head tracking. But some of you may actually want eyes and head tracking at the same time, allowing your eyes to have the fine movement with your head, the broader movements. With TrackIR, I've always had to dive into the software, tweak curves, dead zone, smoothing, sometimes even per game profiles just to get it feeling right. Now, I know I said that before, but I really can't say that enough because of how often I had to do this. But with Tobii, I didn't touch a thing. It felt locked in from the start, natural, balanced, and responsive without being overly sensitive. I really couldn't believe how good it felt right out of the box. The eye tracking took a little getting used to, but once I dialed it back slightly, it became a real asset. Not just for immersion, but for utility. In Star Citizen, DCS, or even Microsoft Flight Sim, I could absolutely see this becoming the go-to method for cockpit interaction. Glance at a button, hover over it with your mouse or keybind, and execute. No more panning the camera manually just to hit a switch. And with a simple interact key mapped, I could see this even replacing mouse clicks entirely for common cockpit functions. Now, it's not fully supported across the board yet, but the potential is massive. In combat, the situational awareness boost is no joke. In DCS or Star Citizen, keeping your nose locked on the target while your eyes track a threat moving across your periphery, that's a tactical advantage. To be fair, as I mentioned before, it does take some adjustment. If you're used to locking your eyes and moving only your head, Tobii can feel a bit too responsive at first. But that's really easy to fine-tune. Inside the Tobii Experience software, you can adjust how much influence your eyes have over camera motion and set your own comfort level. You can also fully customize how it behaves in different states. For example, I disabled head tracking while aiming down sights in FPS mode, since precision matters more than immersion there, but left it fully active during flight and external camera views. And I'll be honest, after nearly a decade with TrackIR, I didn't expect to click with something new so fast. But within minutes, Tobii felt second nature. It really isn't just immersive, it's intuitive. It lets you fly more naturally, respond more quickly, and stay focused on what matters without extra gear or constant tweaking. It's the kind of tool that fades into the background until you try flying without it. Now, this is where Tobii quietly wins: daily use. With Tobii Eye Tracker 5, I can just sit down and it works immediately. There's nothing to strap to my head, no cable to get snagged, and no weight pulling on my headset. It's mounted to the monitor, always ready, and I often forget it's even there. And that matters over time. After longer sessions, not wearing extra gear felt noticeably more comfortable. It's just a smoother, simpler experience. You launch the game and it's already doing its job, quietly and flawlessly. While Tobii works great out of the box, what surprised me even more is how much control you actually have over it. Inside of Star Citizen, you can fine-tune how much influence your head and eye movement have over the camera. Want a more natural feel? Blend both. Want to avoid jitter when glancing at your MFDs? Just dial the eye sensitivity back a notch. And it's not just global settings, you can customize how it behaves in specific gameplay states. In Star Citizen, for example, I keep head tracking on while flying, but turn it off during FPS aiming to avoid any accidental drift. Same goes for external camera mode. Tobii works there too, and it's fantastic for cinematic shots. You also have options for auto recalibration when you shift in your seat, adjusting dead zones or enabling your in-game head position to reflect how you physically move in the cockpit. It all adds another layer of control without requiring hours of tweaking. And the best part, it's intuitive. You don't have to relaunch the game or manage profiles like you often do with TrackIR. Just make a change and you're flying again. Whether you're on a joystick, mouse, and keyboard, or anything in between, Tobii adapts fast. It's not just reactive, it's customizable enough to feel like an extension of how you already play. The great thing is that even in Star Citizen, you can control gimbals with your eyes if you really want to, or your head tracking. Tobii doesn't just change the way you fly, it changes how you think in the cockpit. In Star Citizen, it's a tactical upgrade. You can track a hostile while keeping your nose forward, improving pit placement, turn transitions, and reaction time, all without snapping the view or hitting keys. Landing and docking feel more natural too. Tobii lets you scan angles and judge motion fluidly without breaking focus or fumbling the camera. Inside ships or in EVA, that freedom becomes critical. With head tracking enabled in FPS mode, you can move and look around freely, which makes zero-G feel far more intuitive and cinematic. Subtle head or eye movements translate into smooth, controlled camera shots without clunky binds or tool workarounds. It's not just for show, it's real-time spatial awareness that enhances how you fly. Now, is it better than TrackIR? After nearly a decade with TrackIR, I didn't expect to switch. But Tobii is cleaner, faster to set up, and less fragile. No cables, no sensor droop, no gear on your head. With that said, if you love tweaking profiles, don't mind the cables attached to your head, and your current setup works, stick with it. But if you want something that fades into the background and works the second you sit down, Tobii is it. This isn't about being more pro, it's about staying in the moment. And for me, that's worth the upgrade. Just don't forget to bind a quick recenter key. It's a simple fix if the view drifts after stepping away or during a cutscene. So would I recommend the Tobii Eye Tracker 5? Yeah, absolutely I would. It's not just a head tracking replacement, it's a step forward in how you interact with your sim. Whether you're flying in Star Citizen, running sorties in DCS, or logging hours in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it just makes you feel more connected. No cables, no clip-ons, just a better, cleaner experience. And if you're thinking about trying it out, now's actually the perfect time. Hit the link in the description to learn more, grab the deal, or enter the giveaway. It's a solid offer and a great way to upgrade your setup without paying full price. And if you want to support the kind of in-depth, no-fluff content I'm building here, consider becoming a channel member. You'll get access to behind-the-scenes content, early previews, shoutouts in every video, and help me keep doing this the right way. Straight up, with no marketing filter. And if you're looking to upgrade your setup, you can also check out the review I did on the Monster Tech MTS, the Windwing Ursa Miners, or VKB's Gladiator NXT Evos. They're all amazing setups and hit whatever price point you're looking for. As always, thanks for watching. Fly sharp, track smarter, and I'll see you in the verse. Havoc out.